Argentina is one of the most successful and glamorous football teams in the world. They're currently, according to the FIFA World Rankings, rated 8, but have had a tortuous run in the qualifying stage. At Germany 2006, Argentina were desperate to improve on their woeful 2002 performance, where they were eliminated at the group stage. With wins over the Ivory Coast, Serbia and Montenegro, and a draw with the Netherlands, they improved on 2002. In the round of 16, Argentina defeated Mexico 2-1 in extra time. The winning goal, scored by Maxi Rodriguez, was voted best goal of the tournament. But in the quarter-finals, Argentina lost a spiteful game against Germany 4-2 in a penalty shootout. Not long after the elimination, coach Jose Pekerman resigned. The lead-up to South Africa in 2010 has been difficult, but it appears that for the first time in 24 years, the Argentinians are a real chance at World Cup glory. One major factor is their coach, Argentina's most famous footballing son, Diego Maradona. The inspiration of their last triumph in 1986 is once again carrying the highest of expectations from the fans. Diego Maradona is arguably the greatest player the game has ever seen, and as a coach, he has some marvellous talent at his disposal. Names such as Nicolas Burdisso, Walter Samuel, Juan Sebastian Veron, Gabriel Hines, to name just a few of Argentina's veteran World Cup players. It is a team that features many survivors of the 2006 campaign in Germany. But there is one player who stands out amongst this team of champions. He is Lionel Messi. Widely regarded as the best footballer in the world, Lionel Messi, it is hoped, will thrill the fans of the 2010 World Cup, as he certainly appears to be in fantastic form if his club season is anything to go by. In fact, he recently topped 40 goals in the season for what has been a stellar for the champ. The expectations and the passion of the Argentinian fans are always immense, and this is hardly surprising considering their success in so many tournaments around the world. Argentina is one of only two teams, France being the other, to have won the three most important titles recognised by FIFA. The World Cup, of course, which they have won 2 times, the Confederations Cup and the Olympic tournament, which they won in 2004 and 2008. Throw in the Copa America, which Argentina has won an incredible 14 times, along with Uruguay, and one soon understands why every World Cup carries with it the hopes and dreams of fanatical Argentinian fans. Memories of 1986 are, of course, staring them in the face in the form of their coach Diego Maradona. But in 2010, it is a great mix of veterans, youth, and of course Messi, who will stir the deep passion of all Argentinians in South Africa. In 1998, many were asking, how did it happen? Following a more than underwhelming 1997, coach Ami Jacquet survived the ire of fans and commentators, who constantly called out for his resignation to lead France to World Cup glory in front of a delirious home crowd. Not only did France beat the highly fancied Brazil 3-0 in the final, with key playmaker Zinedine Zidane in his best form, which translated into some more stellar results after their World Cup victory, France was installed at the prestigious #1 spot in the FIFA World Rankings. Therefore, it must be still amazing for the French fans to believe the team's stunning goalless first-round elimination at the 2002 World Cup. In 2006, France struggled again, this time in the qualifiers, but with the help of some recent retirees, including Zidane, France made the final. Again, there were heightened expectations from the French fans. But sadly, there was to be no triumphant celebrations at the Eiffel Tower or the Arc de Triomphe, as they lost in a penalty shootout to arch-rivals Italy 5-3. In 2010, the French team set the bar higher than ever before. They have now qualified for the finals of the World Cup on 4 consecutive occasions. The campaign started badly, with the team again being criticised not only for some disastrous losses, but also some particularly uninspiring victories. It wasn't pretty or stylish, and it certainly lacked flair or finesse, but France eventually finished second in their group and earned a place in the UEFA playoffs against Ireland for a place in South Africa. The first leg went to France 1-0. The second was a 1-1 draw that was hardly convincing but definitely controversial. They called it the Hand of Henry affair. After the match, French captain Thierry Henry admitted to defender Ricard Dunn that he had handled the ball in the lead-up to the William Gallas extra-time goal, scored with just 17 minutes left in the match. The Football Association of Ireland called for the results to be set aside and demanded a replay of the game. These calls were rejected by football's governing body, and the result, which put France in the World Cup on aggregate, stood. This has meant a troubled lead-up for France on the road to South Africa, and many, including some of their own, don't rate them a chance. Coach Raymond Domenech is not highly rated by fans, and some have called for his resignation prior to the World Cup. Decorated French player Michael Platini says France have no chance of winning in South Africa, and Platini gives 2 simple yet basic reasons for this. Number 1, the coach. Number 2, the players are simply not good enough. With the introduction of the internet over the last 10 years, it is not hard to get a handle on how the fans rate the chances of all teams in the 2010 World Cup. Some football writers say France could maybe be in the top 6 if they can field a full-strength side. But it seems the fans are not so sure, even with a fit and healthy Thierry Henry at the helm. If Argentina, Germany and Brazil are arguably a sure thing in South Africa in 2010, then the Ivory Coast are surely the fairy tale. Until 2005, Côte d'Ivoire, as they are known, had won virtually nothing of note, with their greatest achievement being a victory at the 1992 African Cup of Nations. But since then, the Ivory Coast have qualified for 2 World Cup finals. Their first was Germany 2006, and it wasn't easy. They had a tough qualifying group, which featured powerhouse sides from the Cameroon and Egypt. Ivory Coast confirmed its 2006 spot amid such celebration from the fans with a 3-1 win over Sudan. They did this on the very last day and waited as Cameroon faltered with a 1-1 draw at home to Egypt. At the 2006 World Cup, they lost their opening game to Argentina 2-1, and then their second match by the same scoreline against the Netherlands, and were eliminated from the tournament. Their final game was against Serbia and Montenegro, who scored 2 quick goals, and it seemed the Ivory Coast was set for a 3-loss World Cup campaign. But the Africans came back with 2 goals from Aruna Didan and eventually won the game 3-2 to finish in 3rd place. It is worth mentioning that the Ivory Coast is the only team to have never been shut out in any World Cup match in the history of the tournament. The team scored in all 3 of their games in the 2006 campaign against Argentina, the Netherlands and Serbia and Montenegro. This is a little piece of history that this relatively small country of just over 16 million people can be very proud of. Without a doubt, the star attraction for the Ivory Coast is striker Didier Drogba. Drogba is a major force for English side Chelsea in the Premier League and has at this stage scored more goals for Chelsea than any foreign player in its history. He was a late bloomer as a player by normal standards and didn't sign his first contract until the age of 21, but moved to Chelsea for a record-breaking fee of £21 million, making him the most expensive Ivory Coast player of all time. As captain of the national side, he led from the front in 2006, scoring in his first World Cup game. In 2010, Drogba scored 6 goals in 5 games to help the team qualify for South Africa. In March 2010, he was named 2009 African Footballer of the Year for the second time. One of the reasons that the Ivory Coast are so highly rated in 2010 is due a little to their performance in 2006. Despite the fact that they were defeated in their first 2 matches, fans and critics were happy with how the team acquitted itself. This is largely due to the fact that they were drawn in what was dubbed the Group of Death, meaning they were up against 3 highly fancied and skillful teams: Argentina, the Netherlands and Serbia and Montenegro. When the draw for the 2010 World Cup was conducted, the hearts of 16 million odd Ivory Coast fans could be heard sinking when it was revealed they were yet in another Group of Death. The team will be in Group G along with Brazil, Portugal and North Korea. All 3 of these sides come into the tournament with a huge chance of taking the coveted cup, with even North Korea considered far more than a dark horse or lame duck making up the numbers. But many African commentators are urging Ivory Coast fans not to write off their team just yet. In fact, some say if they play a form of shutdown football, especially against Brazil, they are a big chance to salvage at least a 1-1 draw. With more experience and maybe a little luck, there is no doubt Didier Drogba and co will be more than a handful, especially in attack for all teams in their group. The Socceroos is the official nickname for the Australian national team. The game of soccer, as it's largely known in this country of some 21 million people, is not the national sport of passion. The team first played in the World Cup finals in 1974. In those days, there were no professional footballers, and with that in mind, the team performed with honour, not being able to overcome the might of host nations East and West Germany, but did manage a scoreless draw against Chile. The team was captained by local amateur Peter Wilson. The 1994 campaign was an extremely difficult one, in which Australia was ultimately knocked out of contention by Argentina. After the game, the legend of Argentine football, Diego Maradona, was so impressed with Australia's performance, he said to then captain Paul Wade, "Your tears of pain will one day be tears of joy." It was to be 32 years until Australia would again play World Cup football. In that time, the team became known for its near misses for World Cup qualification, against Iran in 1998 and Uruguay in 2002. It was over those years that the sport and the team grew, and with the added expertise, skill and professionalism of some highly rated players who were playing in European leagues, Australia's fortunes slowly changed. But in 2004, Australia topped the round-robin stage of the Oceania Football Confederation World Cup qualifying tournament. Once again, to qualify, Australia had to face its nemesis Uruguay. Finally, it all came down to a penalty shootout. And when goalkeeper Mark Schwarzer made 2 crucial saves, it was John Aloisi who scored the winning penalty. Australia 4-2, which made them the first team to qualify for a World Cup via a penalty shootout. Australia made a strong statement at the 2006 World Cup, despite going in as the second lowest ranked side, reaching the knockout stage where it took a last-minute goal from eventual winners Italy to eliminate them. The Australian team's qualification for the World Cup of 2010 has again been a testament to overachievement and self-belief. The team of Pim Verbeek consisted largely of players from European competitions. Verbeek believed the local A-League competition was not up to scratch. Stars such as Harry Kewell, Mark Schwarzer, Lucas Neal, Tim Cahill and Josh Kennedy all make for a competitive Australian team that can, on behalf of its fans, strut the world stage with pride. In 2010, World Cup qualifying Australia finished on top of Group A, 5 points clear of Japan. In international games, Australia holds some interesting records. During a 2002 World Cup qualification game against American Samoa, Australia won 31-0, with Archie Thompson scoring 31 goals. 2 days before this, Australia broke the record for the largest win, with a 22-0 win over Tonga. Both wins surpassed the previous record of 20-0 held by Kuwait, who beat Bhutan. The Australian side is fast gaining a reputation for their defensive capabilities, with high-quality defenders like Lucas Neal and goalkeeper Mark Schwarzer able to shut down the world's best strikers. They are a vital cog in a side that has conceded only 4 goals, including a record run of 7 matches without conceding in the lead-up to South Africa. And if Australia is to be successful, they will need it all. as they are drawn in Group D for the World Cup. Not quite the so-called group of death, but sure, many feel like it with teams like three-time world champions Germany, African heavyweights Ghana and Serbia, making up a tough draw for the overachieving Australians. This is a reunion of the successful German national team that won the World Cup in its home country in 1974. It was 1971 when the legendary Franz Beckenbauer became captain of the national side. He led West Germany to great success at the European Championships and then World Cup success. Franz Beckenbauer would in later years coach the national side to mixed success and remains the highly respected father figure of German football. This is a training session of the German national team in 2006. Some 42,200 wild flag-waving fans packed the Düsseldorf Arena 1 week before the start of the 2006 World Cup. Fans cheered and Mexican waved their heroes, even though their hopes for success were not as high as in previous tournaments. Germany won the opening game against Costa Rica 4-2. Their confidence grew. As the tournament progressed, and across the group stage they conceded no further goals, beating Poland 1-0 and Ecuador 3-0. Germany finished on top of its group with 3 wins. In the quarter-finals, Germany faced Argentina, a team they hadn't beaten since the World Cup of 1990. The match went to a penalty shootout, won by Germany 4-2. Fans were growing in confidence and were loudly chanting for more World Cup glory, for Germany a record 8th final appearance. But their hopes were dashed by Italy, who scored 2 goals in the last 90 seconds of extra time. They did manage to save some face with their fans by routing Portugal 3-1 in the third-place match. German fans rightly have high expectations of their football side, especially on the world's greatest sporting stage. Their success is based on deep reserves of experience and a lot of success. Germany is one of the 3 most successful national teams at international competition. They've won 3 World Cups and 3 European Championships. Consistency is also a strong suit. 4 times runner-up in the World Cup, 3 times in 3rd place. Germany has also been 3 times runner in the Euro. The German team has always been big on tactical know-how, and much to the delight of their fans, can rise to the occasion at crucial times, most especially when the chips are down and the situation seems hopeless. In 2010, the German fans will again be cheering their side with great gusto, and expectations will again be high. So is it possible that South Africa, a 4th World Cup for Germany, would be possible? Some have labelled Germany's lead-up to 2010 as comfortable and unspectacular, a typical workmanlike performance that is consistent with the way coach Joachim Low likes it. Most teams are not a problem, but Finland did hold Germany to 2 draws, both home and away. This could very well be Captain Michael Ballack's final World Cup appearance, as his career as a striker at Chelsea slowly winds down, but Germany's chances still revolve around him being in good form. Miroslav Klose, who is a consistent scorer in the lead-up, will need to be on his game. Individual form aside, Germany would be reasonably happy with its draw in Group D of the 2010 tournament. In this group, Germany will be up against Australia first up, for which they may need to prepare for some rather dour defensive gameplay. To win its group matches, Germany will also need to overcome African powerhouse Ghana, as well as the always surprising Serbia. Workmanlike, consistent, but above all successful, Germany will once again deservedly carry the mantle of World Cup favourite, with some discerning watchers of the game. To have a history of being at or thereabouts at many World Cup proves the enduring nature of this proud country and its football team. And then there is Portugal. What to make of a team that is capable of at times playing the most dazzling football and yet has never progressed beyond the semi-finals of a FIFA World Cup? In 2010, there is no doubt Portugal's fans will be hoping their team goes all the way. At Germany 2006, Portugal was undefeated in the group phase, with wins over Angola, Iran and Mexico. At the round of 16, Portugal defeated the Netherlands 1-0, then drew 0-0 after extra time in its next game against England. In the ensuing penalty shootout, Portugal won 3-1 in a spiteful game marred by a violent challenge on Portuguese defender Ricardo Carvalho by England's Wayne Rooney. Did this game ruin their chances for a crucial matchup against France? It seems so. Both English and French fans combined in an attempt to throw a slightly undermanned Portugal off its game, which Portugal lost 1-0. In the playoff for third place, Portugal faced Germany and lost the match 3-1. They did, however, win the award for the most entertaining team for their play during the World Cup, an award given by the fans. At times brilliant and entertaining, but at other times flaky and inconsistent, Portugal's 2010 campaign almost proved disastrous in the qualifiers. But they scraped in for second place and qualification by a single point over Sweden. This was a group where Denmark finished first 1 point ahead of Portugal. Having qualified for the 2010 World Cup, Portugal's most successful decade has been capped off beautifully. Consistent, unprecedented and unbelievable are words bandied about to describe Portugal's time from 2000 to 2010. Euro 2000, World Cup 2002, Euro 2004, World Cup 2006, Euro 2008 and World Cup 2010. Only 4 other teams have been this successful, and they are all powerhouses of world football: Spain, Italy, Germany and France. But if one man can arguably make a difference, these Portuguese fans will tell you there is only one. His name? Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo is the most expensive player in football history, and in 2006 at World Cup qualifying, he showed why with stellar performances in all lead-up games. He scored 7 goals in the lead-up, and his first and only World Cup goal against Iran. It came from a penalty kick. Ask any football fanatic, and they will tell you that the biggest arguments at this year's World Cup will probably be over who gives his country the most worth. England's Wayne Rooney, Brazil's Kaká, Argentina's Lionel Messi, or Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo. Any real fan of football, but most especially the Portuguese, are widely excited about the prospect of Ronaldo's involvement on football's biggest stage. Known for his consistent ability to rise to the big occasion, could it be that once again one man can be the difference between winning and losing the World Cup? Judging by the draw held on the 4th of December 2009, Portugal will need some help, whether it be divine intervention or Ronaldo. They are, sadly for them, drawn in Group G, known not very affectionately as the Group of Death. In this group, Portugal will face 5 times world champions Brazil, Africa's top contenders Ivory Coast, and one of the highly fancied Asian sides, North Korea. Portugal will face Ivory Coast, then North Korea, and their last group match will be against Brazil. The match against the Ivory Coast, pundits say, will make or break Portugal's World Cup, because on any given day, Portugal can beat anyone and apparently lose to anyone. But who would doubt a team that boasts as part of its ranks the most consistent and expensive player of all time, Cristiano Ronaldo? Certainly not the Ivory Coast, definitely not North Korea, and surprisingly not Brazil. This Group G, this so-called Group of Death, will be one of the most exciting groups to see at the 2010 FIFA World Cup.